what's up? Thank you for cracking another road soda. Or maybe your first road soda, or whatever one it is. It's cool. You're always welcome back. We got plenty to go around. Pop it open. Have a drink. Relax. Road soda's all about having some fun. Last episode, or their last little video, I don't even know what's going on anymore. We're just making videos out here. Let's have a rootin' and tootin' time. I geeked out over Cowboy Bebop live action. I was blindsided. I thought for sure that shit was coming out in 2022. Netflix had like a blanked out... What's up, baby? Netflix had like a blank out spot for it. If you were to search Cowboy Bebop, it would be like, coming soon, Cowboy Bebop live action. Forever, maybe since like late 2019 to 2020. And I knew they were filming it, but I knew that all that was going on, but then it came out a couple days ago. I've been watching it. I'm going to go out and say it is arguably one of the best adaptations of anything to ever be adapted. Book, video game, cartoon to live action. It is fucking phenomenal. It is fucking phenomenal. There is a feel and a vibe that you get that especially Watanabe, the director, really tries to incorporate in the shows. Like he's very particular about the music, and there's just the art. Everything gives a vibe. Like it gives you this feeling, and they matched that so perfectly with the live action. I can't recommend it enough. I was just over the moon. I watched I'm like 4 episodes in now, and I even went back and I turned on the anime, and it's a lot of it is like shot for shot. It's like shot for shot, like the same, like some of the angles, like when they're on the ship, talking and having dialogue, some of the same camera angles that they would use in the anime they use on the show. Like they have like a little living room space, and there's this big ceiling fan that's always spinning real slow. And occasionally they'll have the camera like up behind the fan, so you see the fan and you see Spike and Jet talking, laying on the couch and stuff. It is, it's fucking great. If you are an anime fan or you're just a Cowboy Bebop fan, fucking watch that shit. Fucking watch that shit. Like I pulled up some images so you guys can see. There's actually an article of some of the shot-for-shot stuff. Like, this comes to us from news.knowyourmeme.com. So this is knowyourmeme.com. Netflix live-action Cowboy Bebop keeps posting one-to-one comparisons with anime and keeps getting dunked on. So the article is obviously trying to show how people are, like, never happy about anything. and the guys or the people that created the show keep posting these, and I guess everyone else is like, oh, you guys fucked it up. It's not the same. What a bunch of assholes. I didn't read any of that part, but it was the one place I could find that had some pictures that were like side by side. But there's so much. There's so much going on. You see this guy down here? What is this? Let's get rid of that. So let's look at a picture. Like even the Bebop. Look at it. Landing in the ocean. This is in the first episode right here, this little clip of the real show, and that was like when it hit me. That was like when I'm watching it, and the music's playing. It's that great, incredible jazz soundtrack that they have, and the ship is landing in the water, and the color, the tones. I was like, I feel it. I'm feeling it. They did a great job. Absolutely fucking amazing, dude. Cowboy Bebop, check that shit out. I wonder what happens if we try to watch one of these. Let's see. I don't even know if there's any noise. Nah. That is... See? They did it. They fucking did it. Anyway, enough of that. I think you guys should really absolutely get out there. I mean, turn it on, try it out. I got no affiliation. I just like to geek out about stuff. Why don't you guys let me know how you feel, especially if I'm wrong, down in the comments. Because we all know people got opinions. And I want to hear them. All right. I was just looking for some content, looking for some fun stuff to go ahead and put on the show for you guys, because I've got this new format. I've been using OBS Studios. I think it's a lot of fun. And I watched a couple minutes of this, and I think it would be a lot of fun for us just to go through this and see what happens. But let us dive into. I actually found it on WorldStar. WorldStar's got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of content, but this was pulled from TLC, and it is 800-pound man finally meets his 18-year-old internet girlfriend in real life. That's what IRL stands for. If you didn't know, internet. And father tried to stop it, but they kicked him out of the house. A lot to die. I don't know what exactly they're talking about, but let's go ahead and just jump into this, all right?
Food played a very large part in the way that I comforted my children. My ex-husband did not allow me to give them ice cream or cookies or go to fast food places, but I would sneak it to them so they could be happy.
I doubled in weight. It got up to over 200 pounds by the time I was 12. But as I gained more weight, my dad started to get more and more upset with me because of it. He tried to stop me and Carlton's weight gain, but it didn't stop us from eating how we wanted.
So far what it sounds like is the mom is like feeding her kids. She's like, that's how I comfort my kids. I just give them food. Which, hey, what parent doesn't? That's a very, what human doesn't? It's probably one of the most amazing comforts there is or there has ever been. Food. And so that's okay. But apparently the dad, this fucking asshole, like this total loser piece of shit dad is like, hey, you can't be feeding them fast food and cookies and cakes all the time. You can't do it. And then when the kids keep eating it, he gets upset with the kids. Now, I'd like to think maybe he didn't. Maybe he got upset with the mom, and maybe the kids kind of felt like they were getting upset. Or maybe he get upset with the mom, and then the mom's like, they're the ones eating. I don't know. But this dad's just trying to fucking rein in some of the eating, and eating some of the fast food and stuff. And well, what a piece of shit for doing that. Seriously.
And by the time I was 13, I was over 350 pounds. And Carlton was 5 or 6 and around 2.
How much did you weigh at 13 years old? I was absolutely 175, 180. I was a shoot. I was a big shoot of a boy, though. Come on, big shoots. I was, at 13, I was probably starting to approach 5'11", 6 foot. Not much, yeah, because in another year I was in high school, and I think I did get to 6'2" in high school. So, you know, being 13 years old and over 300-something pounds, that's a big girl. That's a huge bitch. That's from, man, I wish I had like a sound drop. That's from Deuce Bigalow. Oh my gosh. Something tells me she was that big, but she wasn't like playing on the football team or anything. She was just that way for funsies. Hey, look, I'm not shaming anybody. We're fucking wired to eat. We are absolutely wired to eat, and some people are just fucking like it a lot more. So I feel you. I
200.
Brother,
when I was around 10, I think that's when it got to its worst with my dad. So as a family, it was at a point where we couldn't take it anymore. So my mom took us and we ran.
Your daughter's 13 and over 300 pounds, and your brother's and your son is 10 and pushing 2 bills. And the problem everybody's having in the house, like you hear this music, it's like such like this was the worst time of our life. And the problem in everybody's life is the dad keeping them from getting even fatter. The problem in their life is not the obesity or not any of the health concerns that come with that. Their concern, the biggest bane of their existence is this fucking nerd in the house who's like, hey, how about everybody doesn't eat so much? It's really expensive. It's pretty bad for your health. I love you guys, and I don't think you should be I don't know. Maybe he wasn't saying it like that. But they're like, their biggest problem is like, get this asshole out of here. He's killing our good time. Okay. I'm just following along. I'm just saying exactly what's going on in this video. That's exactly what's going on in their life. They're all very morbidly obese at very, very young ages, and the biggest problem in their life is their father. Okay.
I felt very relieved when finally I was able to escape.
Being away from my dad was such a relief to all of us. Instead of it being somber, everyone was happy about it. And I remember being allowed to eat as many desserts as I wanted, and I would just take advantage.
Okay, if I was 10 years old, would I trade having a father for as many desserts as I could eat? If I was 13 years old, if you were 13 years old and somebody was like, yo, you can either A, have a dad. I'm like, okay, I'm following you. But he's probably going to be a total dick if you go up for like your fourth, fifth, sixth cookie in a row. He's probably going to be like, hey, the fuck are you doing? Why don't you stop doing that? Why don't you have a little self-control, buddy? Okay? Or you can not have a dad. Fuck that guy. You don't need that guy. No dad. But you can eat as many sweets as you want. You can eat as many sweets as you want, and you don't have a dad ever being like, really? Half the cake? You can eat no. Other people in the house need some cake. You can have a slice after dinner. That was too much for this family. And they were like, dads aren't all they're hyped up to be anyway. I mean, what does a dad really do besides be a fucking buzzkill?
And I would eat, and my mom wouldn't be crying, and my sister would be smoking.
And it couldn't be that they were all eating because they were like sad or depressed. My mom wouldn't be crying. Wow. No, maybe this guy, look, I really hope, here's what I really hope, is that like throughout this video we find out that the dad was like very abusive. I would hope. That's going to make everything so much better, because right now it just kind of seems like not that cool.
Smiling, eating too, so it was a peaceful time.
Peaceful time, baby.
By the time I was 11, I was over 300 pounds, and it was a massive problem. Kids were teasing me. My mother had to constantly try to scramble and find new uniforms.
But at least we didn't have that asshole of a dad weighing us down. Like, yeah, sure, the kids would call me Fatso and poke my belly, and it kind of hurt, but tickled at the same time, so it made me mad. And I say that one from experience. And sure, I constantly had to get refitted for school uniforms because I was a ballooning. As you could imagine, Twinkies are not light in calories. But however, life was dope because that fuck twat of a dad was gone, out of the picture. Let's continue.
And I ended up getting suspended for leaving the school after my lunch break and going to get food from somewhere else. So it got to be a really...
That's the school's fault right there. That's on the school. School didn't have enough food for this kid. That's on them. What do you expect the kid to do? Lunch is over and the kid's like, yo, what's up? I'm still hungry. What are we supposed to do? I'm sorry, what? Just go back to class and wait the 3 hours to the end of the day? Fuck you. How about you have enough food to fill me up, baby?
Difficult time, and it was lonely too, because Chantel was gone.
When I graduated high school, I was around 350 or 360. So I was getting big, but I could still get around and do things, and I had really applied myself in school.
That's good.
So I ended up, going to college.
Good.
I felt alone. I didn't have my sister, and with how I felt, I just couldn't stop.
You know what else you didn't have? Didn't have that dad either. Didn't need him. You chose Twinkies.
Eating because my appetite never stopped then.
If only there was somebody around. If only there was somebody around to help give him some self-control, you know? Interesting.
So I kept gaining a lot, and by the time I was 15, I was well over 400 pounds. And it got to a point there where I was so big, it was hard for me to do anything. So I dropped out of school and decided to get my GED.
Look, I feel I'm like 200 and probably 35, 240 pounds right now. I just turned 30. I definitely got a bit of a gut, right? I feel that way. I feel like it's hard for me to move around. I bend my shoes, my head feels like it's about to pop. Like I bend over to tie my shoes, my head feels like it's gonna pop. I feel like it's difficult now. So what a threshold to get all the way to 400. Kudos to get all the way to 400, and you're like, now it's getting to that place where shit's a little tough. Woo!
Gaining, and by the time I got my GED when I was 18, I was almost 500 pounds. And the dreams I had for the future were being crushed under my weight.
Unfortunately, college didn't go as I...
Do you think what do you think his major was? Creative writing? Should have been. If it wasn't, it should have been. My dreams are being crushed under my weight. Also, my cat. You saw that gray cat in that last picture? We haven't seen him in a while.
I hope. At 20, my weight started getting really bad that I had to stop going classes because I couldn't get up the hill. Because I had reached around 450 then. And that led to me having to drop out. And that was pretty hard for me because I felt like I was giving up on my future. So all I was doing then was sitting around my apartment eating. And that's how my life was until I met Michael.
And then we ate together. And then it was the two of us sitting around eating together. As you can see, pictured here. Man, I just can't help but think, like, you know, it could be tough. It could be really tough to have a lot of self-control. That's why, like, people go to AA meetings, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous or NA, all that kind of stuff. And they get a sponsor because self-control is hard. So they got somebody around to account for them. And, like, you can call and be like, this is really hard. I think I want to drink. Only there was somebody in these kids' life who could have been that for them. You know? If only there was somebody in their lives. I don't know who. I don't know who it could have been or who could have been that person, but oh well.
Cool. My friends had convinced me to go out one night, and he was a friend of a friend who went with us. But at first, I didn't pay any attention to him. I hadn't had a serious relationship with my life because I didn't want to end up like my mom and my dad. But as I got to know Michael, he was different than most guys. And we started going out.
I believe she was the one the first time I saw her. We clicked right there. So it wasn't much of her size down.
Why doesn't McDonald's, let's be honest with who that is, like they blur that cup out? We all know who it is. It's McDonald's, it's fucking you. And that is your fault for making your logo and your entire company so recognizable. We could see it straight through a blur. I wonder why they don't want their advertising on here. I thought, dude, maybe that's like a good... Our food's so good, people are addicted to it. Detrimentally to their health.
I was worrying about was more of who she was personally. We just fell in love together.
We know what it is.
So within a year of dating, Michael asked me to marry him, and I told him yes. And getting ready for my wedding.
That's not how she eats. You see that bite? Can we go back? Let's go back. That's not how
we just fell in love again.
So within a year of dating, Michael asked me to marry him, and I told him yes. And getting ready for my wedding was the only time in my life I lost any weight.
On airs for the camera. It's okay.
But it didn't last as long as I had hoped, because less than a year after we got married, I got pregnant with my first child and gained a lot during that pregnancy. I would eat like 2 or 3 pizzas a day for 9 months straight. That's why I gained so much weight.
That's why. That will do it to it. That nobody questioned that. Nobody questioned that math, honey. 2 or 3 pizzas a day, huh? And that's... Oh, and that's how it happened? Huh. 2 or 3. I'll have to remember that. I don't want that to sneak up on me. 2 or 3 pizzas a day. Hey, I've been there. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I've not been to 2 or 3 pizzas. I mean, we can maybe... How many times in your life have you eaten 2 or 3 pizzas in a day? How many days could you come up with in your life? I mean, for me, it would have to be at least a couple. I mean, there's plenty of times when you, especially if you get like maybe a Domino's pizza, you can really pound one of those. You got a lot of time to finish it. You're at somebody's birthday party or something. There's got to be 2 or 3. Oh, fuck. That's 24 slices of pizza. How many times in your life have you eaten 24 slices of pizza in a sitting? Or in a day, a whole day? That is the upper echelon. She's in a bracket all of her own. I will tell you that.
So by the time I had Michael Jr. when I was 23, I put back on almost 100 pounds and was just under 500 pounds then. But 6 months after I had Michael Jr., I got pregnant with my second child. And by the time I had my daughter Royal when I was 25, I was around 540. And the cycle continued with my pregnancy with Treasure. And when I had her when I was 27, I was close to 600. And that's when I started to lose my mobility too. When I was 29, me, Michael, and the kids had to move back home with my mom so she could help take care of me. And Carlton had made the same decision to move back with our mom because of how big he was.
Ooh. Man, that is sad. Moving back into your mom's house. Because you got 2 kids and you're like, I need not my mom to help take care of my 2 kids, but I need her to take care of me. Woo! You guys having fun yet?
I got to a point where I could hardly do anything anymore. So I had to move back home with my mom. And in this room, I have stayed. The only thing I was happy about with the situation and moving back was that I was with my sister again. And now, we don't even really see each other since she stays on her floor and I'm on mine. I don't go out and do anything or see anyone.
You did say you haven't left your room. You don't even FaceTime?
Except online. I actually have been talking to someone online for the past year. Her name is Monica, but I've never been able to even meet her because I can't go out. And I've been scared.
As if she comes to that room, baby. You're scared. Something tells me she's a little scared. He's like, the only way we're ever going to see each other is if you come to this room. She's like, are you in jail? Are you arrested? He's like, nah. No. Why? Why would you ask that?
To ask her to come here and see me like this. So I feel like I'm missing life completely, and it's all because of food.
Yeah. It's that food, dude. It's that fucking food. Make food illegal. Hear me now. Make food illegal. Easy. Solve the problem. Make food illegal. So easy. This guy can't fucking help himself. Now he can't even leave his house to meet his online girlfriend. Doesn't even get to see his sister, and it's the food's fault. It's the fucking food's fault. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. Bullshit.
I'm gonna need y'all to start giving me the stuff from up there so we can sit it on the bed. Yes, we need that. Okay. I got it? All right, be careful. Me and Carlton have decided to try and get help from Dr. Now. And we're hoping that he'll take us on his patients and let us do his weight loss program. But we know if he does that, we're gonna have to be in Houston a lot. So we talked it all over as a family and decided if we're gonna really try to do this, we just have to be all in. And we need to move to Houston.
This trip will be rough, to say the least, on my body, and I'm expecting to be in pain and sore, but it's the only chance we have to
What's he
live and to
Hand me a cable. Mash cable up. Put in bag. Can't that guy just mash up cables on his own and put them in a bag? What's that guy doing? What are you helping with? I take the cable and I mash it up and I put it in the bag. How would you pack without me? All right, first of all, right here. Can you just look at this right here? Tell me he doesn't look like... What was his name? Ari Spears? His impression of Shaquille O'Neal? Ari Spears, right? Shaquille O'Neal. For real. Oh, man. Ready? I mean, I think it just kind of looks cross-eyed, man. That's a bit about it. Oh, well. Brought me some joy. Here we go. Let's go.
reverse the damage we've made to our bodies. So no matter what it takes or how scary it's going to be, this is just something that me and Chantel have to do if we want better lives. But there is one thing in all this that I am happy and excited about.
What's that?
I was messaging Monica and telling her I'm doing this move and leaving Ohio. And that I'm sad we have never been able to meet because I think I have a lot of feelings for her. And she told me that she does too, and she said she didn't want to lose me. But as we talked more, she told me she wants to go with me to Houston and help me do this. And that made my heart skip a beat. With all of us hoping to leave today, Monica's coming over with her stuff. So we can meet for the first time and then go with me to Houston. But she was supposed to already be here. And the more I think about this, the more I get honestly pessimistic about how our first meeting is going to be.
That's pretty rational. Kudos. Keep it
So
real.
this could be devastating to me because I think I have fallen in love with her, talking online with her. So if this doesn't go well, it's going to be hard for me to take, especially
So
on top of the
she's
stress
showing
of
up
this whole
to meet him
move
for the
and
first
going to
time and
Houston.
leave with him to move. That was pure happiness.
Come here.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
I was so scared. I was so worried you was not going to come.
She showed up.
Love you.
Ooh.
I'm letting you
Tastes
go.
like a McRib a little bit. I love it.
It's okay. Okay, you can sit down. You know it's fine. Have a seat. I was so worried.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm gonna be happy. It's gonna be okay finally.
Yeah.
Gonna be okay.
I'm very happy. I've been waiting to.
Everything's gonna be okay as long as that bitch doesn't try to keep him from eating. Because then it's hit the fucking road, Jack, just like Pops. That's right.
See him for so long, and when I finally walked in the door and saw him there, I was pretty nervous, but I'm also really excited and happy.
Good.
His
Everybody
weight
needs
doesn't
happiness.
bother me. I want to be with him.
Good. You know what? The moral of the story is, if your parents are keeping you from doing something you love, even if it's detriment to your fucking health, fuck them. Do what you love. Find happiness, because it's out there. If you can't be happy, and I just saw this guy's girlfriend that he never met walk in and they hugged each other and kissed and cried, and you can't find happiness, are you even trying to look for it? Are you even trying to look for it, you piece of shit? Probably not. Just open your eyes and it'd be right there in front of you. We were going to go do some news. We were going to jump into that a little bit, but I think we had a lot of fun with that. That was kind of long. So maybe we'll check out some news some other time, folks. I had a lot of That took me, honestly, it took me on an emotional roller coaster, just commenting on that I need to go get through. That was rough. Hey, it had a happy ending. I love that these folks are, at least they're happy. At least they're happy. Hey, if the dad wasn't making them happy, they knew what did make them happy. That's for sure. At least they know what makes them happy. A lot of people don't even know what makes them happy. And hopefully watching Road Soda with Isaiah Cooper makes you happy. All right.